Good afternoon. My name is Myron Sanders. I'm coming here today to talk about Chapter 15 assignment, which is the research disorders covered in the books and the text, and pretty much giving a full information about whatever disorder I'm talking about. And the disorder that I would like to discuss falls under the anxiety disorder, which is the panic disorder. And before I get into the panic disorder, I would like to touch base just so everyone will get a clear outline about what the anxiety disorder is. So, in the text, anxiety disorder can be explained as characterized by excessive and persistent fear and anxiety, and by which related disturbances in behavior. Um, what really made me pick anxiety disorder, I'm closely surrounded by a lot of people who state that they have anxiety problems. So I really want to get more of a touch base on that topic because I'm kind of ignorant to the whole mental disorder category because I really haven't had to dealt with it except for my experiences working in a mental hospital. Um, what really stood out that I didn't know about was that 23% of women and 14% of men within a 12-month range experience these mental disorders that fall under anxiety. And to me, that's kind of like saying that there's a great grasp of people that really have mental disorders that are kind of, I wouldn't say are ignored, but are peddled to the norm to where such a case myself, I didn't know that these problems were that relevant. And by the looks of it, these numbers are not slowing down, not one bit. So it may be something in the community or in the environment that's causing these effects. And I know this may be off topic, but maybe something that scientists may need to look into. I would suggest. But panic disorder. The panic disorder experience reoccurring and unexpected panic attacks. A panic attack is defined as a period of extreme fear or discomfort that develops abruptly. So what they're saying is, you ever been somewhere and they gave an example in the text. Been somewhere like, for example, me and my girlfriend was going to a bar last weekend, and it was a lot of people there, and it was wait for the table. She felt just a sudden rise in her heart. Her heartbeat just started racing really fast. Well, it just instantly. And at first, I'm just looking like, okay, what's really going on? And she told me it was anxiety, and I really didn't know the cause of it. But it's the fear. It's the fear, the mentality is in her heart. You know what I'm saying? So it's in her mind to where she felt the actual fear, which caused her anxiety to spark up, which was like a panic, I guess a defensive mechanism to where her heart it just came over just way too fast. But that's a clear example of a panic disorder. The symptoms include accelerated heart rate, which I just stated. My girlfriend just experienced. Um, Sweating, trembling, choking, sensations, hot flashes or chills, dizziness or lightheadedness, fears of losing control or going crazy, and fears of dying. And that's completely like all the symptoms. They did not say you would experience all symptoms together or all at once, but I would say if one or two of these symptoms come across you anytime you're in a position, you maybe should get checked out to see if you have anxiety problems, high levels of anxiety, or you may be suffering from go more in depth of suffering from panic disorders, which those kind of clearly explain. Um, it was stated in the text that these symptoms can be triggered by your environment. So if you've had past experiences where you surrounded yourself around certain things and a series of events have caused some type of fear in that surrounding, you may have a panic disorder, which may trigger that effect and those feelings to rise within and cause more of a more aligning problem. And just to go more The panic attack is defined as a period of extreme fear or discomfort that develops abruptly. So I would say the panic attack will be more so not predicted. I think that the way abruptly was pretty much stating that you really don't see that coming. And for example, I had a friend um, that we were partying, and for some odd reason, we're in college, and my friends they left for a little while and they came back. Didn't really know what they did, but we're in college, like I said, so they may have done smoked or did something that probably induced it. But I'm telling you, when they came back, one of my friends, the rest of the group was fine, but my main friend that I came there with, he was really like tripping out, bugging, and he really kind of felt like something was going to happen to him. He was scared, and that it just came out of nowhere. And he never expressed to anyone that he ever suffered from panic attacks. But surely after that panic attack wore off, he kind of came clear and was like, "Oh, I have anxiety problems, and my anxiety problems can lead to a panic attack that can take over, and I can lose sight of myself because my fears will overwhelm myself to where I truly believe in my fears and believe that it's going to happen." And for me, firsthand experience, I was totally scared because I didn't know exactly what he was going through. And honestly, if you haven't been through it, you will probably think it's fake. And I thought it was a joke. But that was a clear outline of how serious the mental health is. And that really was a great, it wasn't a great experience per se because it was someone closely to me that was affected by it. But it was an experience that kind of put a lot of knowledge on my mind and pretty made me more sensitive towards that topic. Um, People with this disorder also often observe experience anxiety and depressive disorder, and also anxiety may be a lead cause of it. But one thing that's not really spoken about a lot, that along with anxiety, is depression. And depression can be something that can definitely trigger these emotions again. The symptoms of the panic attacks are sweating, heart rate, accelerated heart rate, trembling, choking, sensations. And these are the typical symptoms that you would basically say when you're scared. But the thing is, when your heart and your mind is completely convinced that what you're scared of is real, and it could be as simple as getting up from a chair and having a deep breath. And you usually had asthma, but because you had a deep breath, you're already scared, which is causing your heart to speed up racing. Or going to a mall and you're seeing big groups of people walking towards you, and you're scared something's going to happen to you. So you're sweating, or you're trembling, or you're trying to avoid so much confrontation. Those are the symptoms of this panic disorder that pretty much lead to a panic attack. One thing I didn't know that was pretty intriguing is that there was a test done. Well, there was a case study, and in this case study, it was proven that uh, the panic disorder is 43% heritability. So, what that's saying is because a parent can have it, you have a 43% chance of contracting this disorder. And to me, that's pretty frightening. So, at this moment, I'm not sure if they have any actually operational treatments that can, other than shocks to the brain. I'm talking about, like, I don't know if there's any other treatment that can successfully diminish the panic disorder or anxiety, but that's pretty scary. Um, oh, another thing that I did know was the region that these problems reoccur in and are caused in is called the locus ceruleus lobe in the brain. They say it may play a role in this disorder, said in a neurobiological theories case that they ran on two twins and they did the case study. That is all that I've learned about the panic disorders. I want to thank you. You have a great evening.